know what you know. Even though they become dead weight. Okay. So if you really like people and you intend to have a future with them in terms of relating with them, it is important that they catch up with you in knowledge. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Have you seen that sometimes say that 1,000 children can play for 1,000 years? It's because some will be stupid. It's as simple as that. So at the end of the day, you only relate with your kind. Yeah. So and when we talk about things like this, the assumption is that I don't think you are the one that will grow. Because you might put yourself in an angle where you're the one they need to leave. Very important. Okay? So it's not everybody who have left you who didn't know how to manage relationship. There are people who left you because they must not manage your kind. It's the brutal reality of life. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody's eating from the same plate. And everybody brings, and one person doesn't have always. It's just a matter of time to come cheating. So, but again, what I like is the fact that everything we're talking about is just for entertainment purpose. So we're just joking and catching cruise in public school, and all that, just enjoying ourselves. I believe you enjoy yourself. Now, I want to quickly teach you on a very relevant conversation. I think at least once in a lifetime, somebody's talk to you about this. I really think it is necessary in the sense that I don't see any hope for anybody until you understand this. And I'm going to speak about the subject, just something very simple. Disabuse your mind. Oftentimes, it is very easy to pay attention to the things that has happened to you, the abuse that has happened to you. So verbal abuse, somebody said this, somebody did this. Have you seen people, they grow so that they can't forget words that somebody said to them. But sometimes we pay less attention to the form of abuse that has happened to our minds. So the same way somebody can carry an abuse in the emotions, in the body. Yeah, but there are things that happen to your mind. And one of the reasons why this is very important is because the state of your mind is critical to whatever it is your result in life will be. And the mind in itself is the canvas of your experience. What that means is that everything you go through, good or bad, is imprinted somewhere in your mind. The way the mind will tend to think. Do you understand that? Yeah. I remember one time we were growing up, my dad had told us that one of our cousins will be coming to stay with us from the village. And then he had also warned us that the person coming is older than us. So, okay, we just expected, okay, all right, when he comes. And then I remember we returned from school and I met him eating. And the moment he saw us, he went flat and started greeting us, sir, and all that. And then we're just looking at him because they told us that you are the older one. So, and all that. There are things that people do that is very humble. In fact, it can pass. People can look and say, this thing is humility, this is it, and all that. But it's not humility. Humility, you cannot see somebody who doesn't know himself is humble. You have to know yourself and to not think higher about yourself than you ought to, which is pride. If you don't know yourself yet, any form of anything you do that look like humility is ignorance. You don't know yourself. You will wrongly bargain about business. You will not know what you deserve. They tell you how much we pay. You say anything you give me. it's, it's not humility. It's just the result of the things that happen to you. So one of the things I've made you to understand is that some of the biggest mistake you make is that there is something you keep getting wrong as you look at life. You keep getting the design of chaos. You see this word, you keep getting it wrong. Something in you keeps believing that chaos is a dysfunction. See, my writing can be fine if I want to. You see, we keep saying that chaos is a dysfunction, which is not true. Or you keep saying, or you keep thinking that chaos is bad, which is not true. Chaos is a design. Every chaos or every form of chaos is a design. And then if chaos is a design, so this is the way some people see it. If chaos is a design, it also means that chaos is an opportunity. Problem I have now is the fact that whatever I teach you, I can't unteach. So it makes you a dangerous person, right? So let me explain. I was telling you the other time that one of the dangers about being part of the masses is that you are the receiving end. You are the receiving end of good and bad decisions. If somebody has influence and wants a coin to skyrocket, maybe you are dealing with the digital currencies, and then it tweets something, it can massively pump, it can massively dump. The person who is at the receiving end is the masses. You see, and that's why I also usually advise. It's not a statement of fact, but I say that any form of financial venture that has to do with chances is not for the poor. The poor don't have chances to take. Every chance you have is your blood. So it means that at certain level, forex is not for the one who is trying to come out of debt. You get indebted more. If you notice that you're coming from a place where the generation before you didn't have the opportunity to make everything ready, you can't go for chances. You must go for what is precise. You build from there. You see, for instance, If a billionaire loses 100 million in a wild guess, for him it took chance. If you lose that kind of money now, there's a big chance you'll never be saved again. They'll be looking for you. Like this guy I stumbled on. I just stumbled on this video. It's a loan app. Have you seen the guy before? He said, "You are. Why did you gave me loan? Did you advise me to spend it wisely? Did you pay for me?" This is just for entertainment purpose, right? So sometimes there are questions I ask myself. Somebody who is living in one room apartment is starting NGO. You are not at the level of charity yet. You are at the level to receive charity. If you will see, you can't help if you are not helped. Because if you understand what I'm saying, don't put yourself at a level where charity money will be entering your eyes. You too, you know. I've got see. Let me tell you, that's why I was joking with our pastor in London. I was joking, but it's true. I said, me, I really can't go to orphanage home here in London and give children something. I said because they are catered for. They are catered for. Okay. In fact, one time I was still struggling. I went to one orphanage home. I said, these children are more fresh than me now. Let's pack our things back. You see, the issue is that you believe that kindness will be rewarded in heaven, yes, but on earth it can land you in debt. Kindness is powerful, but you may not be at the level where that's what you should start with. Okay, so you can't afford to take chances until you have things that are predictable. You went to borrow money to do forex. If you lose, what do you do? All right, you understand what I'm saying? So you must understand. One of the things that is engineered to abuse people's mind is the system of chaos. So when people look at chaos in society, they begin to say things like the government is not working, the system is bad. The other time I was laughing with you when the president's wife was talking about women going to sell akara. These are people who travel around the world that knows what women deserve. Okay? And sometimes you may want to feel that, is it that they are not exposed or they don't even know what they're saying? No, it's not a matter of exposure. It's a design. And it is designed to produce what it is producing. The way you think. In terms of producing people who are not just literate, but who are successful in life. You look at the exposure to our tertiary institutions. The fact that you have 1,000 students about to receive a lecture that they all can only see 250. They will have to sit at the window. Some will be struggling to do all those things. It's not like people don't know what it takes to do something better. Okay? So, but it has to be the in thing. Because no system produces people that will change it. No system is interested in doing that. If you, for instance, attend a religious institution and you feel there are things you need to change, it's because you've got the wisdom outside the system. And that's why one of the ways you will know that a system is bad is that the system will make sure you don't learn beyond their walls. Any system that is insisting you must not learn beyond their walls is not safeguarding you. It is micromanaging you. And that too. Yeah. Anyways, things people do. So you must understand that chaos is not a problem. It's not, it may be dysfunctional in terms of what it produces in your mind, how it affects your mind. But in the system, the fact that the budget for the president's house that is of innovation to be renovated is higher than the budget for the education of a state is a design. You see, particularly in this part of the world, in Africa, where there is a system, a shadow government system, that insists that the worst least the best. We'll have to make sure that only crew come to power. And they don't empower the children the best, so that they don't get empowered to the point where they start asking questions. Because every revolution begins with a question, and every question begins with exposure. So chaos is not necessarily it's you see, the government don't mind you saying they are bad as long as they can keep you in the position where a peanut can make you vote for them again. Let me say it again. The government don't mind you saying they are bad as long as they can put you in the position where small peanuts can make you vote for them again. It's just the way it is. You see, let me tell you something. And this is one of the things the masses must know. The more you abuse those in power, the more you strengthen them. The more you, yes, let me say it again. The more you abuse those in power, the more you strengthen them. The more you make them know it is not more than words. The more the heavy words you use, the more they build immunity against it. The more it becomes what they laugh at. What do you want to say that you have not said? If words are not working, change your strategy. Something happened recently in Voice of Africa by Africans. They made a post. And I saw the post, I laughed. And I was just reading the comment section. Let me show you some things. 10 African leaders who were taken out for saying no to Western powers. And then you have the likes of Samori Taure, you have Behazin, you have Kwame Nkrumah, you have Kapande, you have Patrice Lumumba, you have Yobe, you have Sankara, you have Asentawa, you have Dedan Kimati. The Iraqi party is a very powerful figure you have to study. Then you also have Muammar Gaddafi. See people say things like, "Well, Nigerian leaders." When the system has produced spineless leaders over time, that's what happens when you have younger people who believe that the only opportunity they have is to use social media to shout. And it doesn't work. So you must understand that the more you do it, the more they build immunity. In fact, the more they learn to give you what to shout about when they boycott and do something else. Okay? So chaos is a design. It's designed to produce people whose minds are abused. It's designed to produce people whose minds are abused. And once the mind is so battered and abused, there is the quality of what they can think, talk less of becoming. You must understand that a larger part of your life will come to light through exposure. Something happens to you when you see how things are designed to work. Something happens to you when you see systems that are what? Working. Something shifts. See, listen to what I'm saying. It's beyond schooling. The future of education, as we say, is changing. All the things you are chatting about are being demystified. Very soon now, you're going to see the government begin to give up your schools and say they want private sectors to buy them. It's going to happen. Eh, you're going to begin to see public schools being purchased by private individuals. That's where we are going. Uh-huh. Because eventually, go read the last Roman Empire. This is what is going to happen eventually. There's a point corruption gets to that the system begins to function like sepsis. The system begins to eat itself. And there's a point it will eat. Look at what is happening to some of the refineries and things like that. So eventually they've been trying to refurbish the Port Harcourt refinery for years now. But one private person came and built his own and then it stood. So eventually they're going to see that private sector has more discipline, more structure than government institution. And that tells you that the government has no management system that is effective, everybody just eat their own. So eventually people who are thinking begin to, okay, you know what, let's privatize this, let's privatize that, which will happen to the schools. So the meat around those who are about to fall, there are skills. So there are slogans given to you while many other things are happening. You have the assumption that the worst school you attend is the best among the blind. It's just an assumption. Most of your colleagues who came from different villages because they could pass chemistry and physics who attended the school, they still left local. Their mentality, the way they think, and some of them, the way they dress is like rags. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not saying anything, but it's just about mentality. Their exposure. They've not seen anything better. The issue is that they are going to now find what will appeal to them is a religious system that tells them that the smallness is where God wants them. Because again, we don't mind being stupid. We hate to look like it. So we need justification for foolishness. So we look for justification. Either you can find the justification in the Bible or find somebody who has. There's no, listen, let me say what I'm saying right. There is no justification for foolishness in the Bible. Or somebody can misinterpret something and tell you at your own level because the pastor too is at your level. One of the things I advocate for is that it is very important that we have people who lead people, multiple people that, I'm sorry, to enable things I've worked for. It's very important. So that, because if not, the system that should train people and build people will become a system that kills them once they are fast becoming. Is what happens. There are places that you can only cope. You can only become what you want to become if you leave. All right. So there is the system of chaos. It is designed to produce people thinking everything the same way that they are doing and all that. So you must understand that the curriculum for the elite is not the same thing for the masses. They are not playing the same game. And often what you think they are doing is not what they are doing. I've said this again and again and again. What you see is not all there is. There is a very powerful system. What is it called? You can't kill a dog if you don't give it a bad name. And then who are those that will join them to call the dog the bad name? The masses. So the issue is that anytime anybody rises as a savior for the masses will kill the savior. Because for a plate of food, they will sell anybody. All right. There are people like, I don't want to mention names, that I look at what they stand for, their model, the way they are going. They may have weakness here and there in terms of leading the youth, bring some form of revolution in terms of how they think. But the moment they begin to emphasize on character and hold people to standards for what they are doing wrong, they become the enemy of the masses. So you must understand that the masses are not just suffering, they themselves are not good. Because there's a point people get to, that poverty gets to, become dog eat dog. People start consuming themselves. There's a point to get to. All right, that people start, the way they think, people move from the point of trying to scale any ladder to anything that works. Oh yes. In fact, they will scam you. All right, and that's part of the things the system produces. So listen, guys, let me help you with this. Sometimes you have heard this statement that every society is a reflection of those who rule them, but we may not know the depth of it. It's true. Before you can bring bad leaders successfully again and again, you must make sure that the people drop in morals. There are people that you have to be morally bankrupted to even think about it. Now you hear that somebody is a thief and is contesting, and it's not a big deal to you to steal too, but at your own level. So what this system does is that and get this trick, it gets people to the point where their mind becomes abused. So what happens is that they drop in the capacity and the ability to dream. It just drops. You see, there are things that's the way they are designed. For instance, your imagination will not thrive in the area you have no exposure. It won't thrive. If I tell you to imagine Ugali, you may not even know what to imagine if you have not seen it before. So how dare you think that you can become what you didn't see? Who lied to you? Until you see the person who is a replica of your dreams, you have no dream. You have to see. So what the system does, which is a closed system, is that it regulates. The system of chaos regulates everyone who has a hand in what impacts you are your kind. And unfortunately, because part of the designs of chaos is lack. And wherever there's lack, the first instinct of lack is survival. So it means that the system of chaos that comes with lack has put you in a place where you have to survive it at a time. So it means that your money culture becomes food. Nothing automates poverty like money culture. Because so if you say whose money culture is food, you want to blame them. Why should you blame them? They will have to survive. You say, but there's a class you have to attend, there's a course you have to take, and say, is he a dead man? I'll take because of the living man. The issue is that you don't even have anything to rest on while you are trying to. It's a very difficult place to be. But you must never forget that you are in that situation because somebody didn't sacrifice. The next person that will be in that situation, if you don't sacrifice, are your children. Eventually, when we starve for knowledge, we don't die. We don't die. Because we rise through knowledge. See, one of the funniest things I see is how small people keep assuming that people are great by chance or by luck. Eventually, everybody makes a choice. If I can't produce results in life, let me be winning arguments. Let there be something that I prove I know something. So it's Mikra mentality. Is if you live in a place called Ibadan, that's the place where a Mikra will try to overtake a G-Wagon. You can't beat me in finance and beat me on the road. So it's competitive spirit. And at the end of the day, the Mikra is not going anywhere important. In fact, by the time he's done making all the money in the day, there's a girl who's selling a boat. I'll collect the money from him and everything that he has rushed. Why do people rush to waste money and then have no wisdom to do anything with it? It's just the illusion of life. It's by who is fast. Somebody is speeding and then dies. Then that's where it's going. He doesn't even know. Okay? So it's just the way. Do you understand what I'm saying now? See, listen, there are things that have been designed to give you a sense of importance. Hmm. Eh, that in doing those small things, you believe you're important. You have tried. Me, self, don't try. But they are just smoke screens. They are just smoke screens. And I'm not against activities, but the earlier you start recognizing the one that is not productive, you're going to school, they are doing rag day. Rag day. Why won't you do it? No, why won't you do rag day? It is not anywhere in your plan that you contest for something in future. And the picture can come out and they will not say you are mad. You wear those things and eat the street with it with, and then start dancing. Because where you are coming from is not far from there. And where you are going to is also close. It doesn't threaten any aspect of what your dream has captured. You will do rag day. Do you understand what I'm saying? They will give you, I'm saying every level will give you activities. And activity is the soul of the mind, is the food of the soul. They tell you that as you are graduating, even though you don't know where you're going. Everybody is career day. Meanwhile, you came to school for career. You now wear the clothes of what you can become. You did botany, you dress and wear lab clothes as doctors. This one will wear this one. But they say it's old school day. And then, I'm not saying activities are bad. It's for entertainment purpose. But you can notice that the issue is that while this thing is fun and makes you happy, it has no leg in where you are going. Okay? So it's all fun and vibe. And it's the way the world is wired. Give everybody something that makes them feel they are doing something even when they are doing nothing. Okay? Then, of course, when you're not done, church too will do things in FYB Sunday. Everybody will dance. They will even pick clothes. Which is not bad. I'm just saying this for entertainment purpose. So you're welcome. So at the end of the day, you check it. I mean, why would you not be the one that will carry masquerade in your village? We're not saying maybe you don't believe in your deities. But the issue is that if you have a job, you will not carry. And the reason why you can carry cane and whip somebody and say, give me money, because life is flogging you too. Hurt people, hurt people. It's not the way it works. So the abuser is abused. Okay, so the system is designed to make you a kind of, and that's what you're just automating and what doing. You can go to a federal institution and your dream is still a shop. I go lie for you. So sometimes don't go and lock yourself up. I remember that I say Holy Ghost, Holy Ghost. Don't go and lock yourself and say, I see, I see, I see, I saw, I see, I saw. Exposure, sir. Exposure. Exposure. Some of you have conversations on YouTube, you have podcasts. Nobody will say don't watch this one. You understand? Nobody said don't watch this one will educate you. Nobody said don't watch it, but you won't. Because if your life is sad, you need plenty laughter. You need to watch the so this has soldier beat him. You will enjoy brutalization because that's where you are. That thing is not fun. That they abuse somebody and brutalize, it's not funny. But it's funny to you because you can relate. You can relate. There are things that people do as comedy that can only thrive in the community of the poor. If you try to turn up the rich, it's not funny. That's the reason why check your comedian. Any comedian that they cannot call for a meeting where the elite are gathering to make a meaningful joke doesn't have something for your mind. It's the reason why we not find the likes of people funny in Nigeria. As life do you rich. Somebody have to tell you I'm joking, for that one is a joke. This is just for entertainment. We're just joking. Just doing our own play. Brothers and sisters, many things abuse you. No, I'm not saying you go and steal. But I'll teach you a principle how to lock your mind away from chaos. That sometimes you are in a place like this, hearing the things I'm teaching. And you are in one euphoria till you step out of your room. You are in another world. The things this one is saying, this one. Should I make it graphical? Eh? As you are trying, you can't even make call that has to do with your career in that room. Or you have to look for one part of the wall where you can just hang and look like God has helped you. And just do your stuff. If the camera mistakenly goes like this, it will see what you should not see. And this one is shouting, hey, Bola, beat that pole. And this one is You see, if you don't know what that means, that word PO. You come out of your room like somebody's carrying potty and is I can't. That's the kind of place you come out from and call your egg baser. You are not humble. It's where life has kept you. It's not humility. Let money touch your hand before you know whether you're humble. It's life. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then just beside that place too, there's a pastor who is for your kind of. Sorry. It's just the way it works. You are the one that will give superstition. Because this system of chaos is a very deep stuff. I'm going to stay here for a while. Everything that this system shows you is the danger of little people. That person was going to, because the things you hear is from the people that life has automated things against. The program you hear on radio, Kayepi, if you don't know what that is, eh? Say it in English. There's problem. They have listened to the show like this. They are calling the bike man, and then the bike man, and then the girl. There's a problem. Everybody's coming to come and talk your own. The girl is saying, my father is my daughter is this. Everybody's jabbing themselves and all that. You hear that say, live. And you get by the time you are done that one, you say, oh, you will call Jesus like the door be very cool, and blah blah. You see, there's you can finish. In fact, I was in a church program one time that they said the man. That the person afflicted me is the spirit of his late father. And they said, all of us should close our eyes. And the prayer began to say, we're inviting the late father in now to detach them. And then say, and the prayer now say, Cabo, that's welcome. That's the late father of the person. My hair stood up every time. I was like, God. Well, they say, and they kept telling us, if you open your eyes, you are doomed, though. You are. Eventually, the man that they said late father, they have separated them, I can succeed. A few months after that, he got electrocuted and died inside the same church. So, everything. Because I'm sorry to say, there are those that things went bad for and choose ministry. They will not be relevant anywhere else but for you. They too will form mentality. I'm not saying anybody whose ministry is small God didn't call. There are people, everybody grow from somewhere. But there are those that is problem that give them that. That's how we have bad society. And once your mentality is formed, it's fixed. That's your worldview. That's the way you see life. That's the way you see things. That's your truth. Anybody who tells you any other thing, you can't see it. You can't hear it. You feel they're saying rubbish. Or you feel they're proud. Anything that will inspire you look like pride. These people just won't be talking as if this, if not that God help you too. It's not this. Sometimes it's difficult to ask, why didn't God help you? Where is the help? You must, to your own self, be true. Avoid the culture of looking at those who are doing things better as those that are proud. Don't fight those whose presence and success is to inspire you. I want you to breathe. I was giving an illustration of the prodigal son, and I use that to explain to people who are in diaspora. I know I have some of you, my students, who are in different countries. Where did the prodigal son go to? A faraway country, diaspora. And when he got to diaspora, what did he do? Odd jobs. He was doing care job for pigs. And then as he was doing care job for pigs, he began to eat their food. Then he remembered that even slaves in my father's house don't eat like this. My status as a slave there is better than my status as a team lead here. Team lead is title, forget it. If you're a team leader, you are earning, let me leave it. No, it's title. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he compared. He didn't compare that with sonship. He compared with slavery. And he said, even a slave there, don't go through this. Let me go back. At least if all I go back to is being a slave, I'm better than this. That comparative analysis only worked because he had something better to compare with. It's the trap. When a home country is bad and people start facing things there, there's no place to come back to. So the people whose people will not do those jobs will make sure that home is not good enough for you to come back. Because if home ever becomes good enough, their own place will start falling. So if they notice that something is getting better and you have stopped coming, a new visa category will open suddenly. Then everybody. So what I'm saying is that the system of chaos in your own country is not just designed by your country. It is also masterminded by those who need you in theirs. And an average black man believes that once he can take picture on the street of London or New York, he's done. He's done what nobody can do. He has fulfilled destiny. Yes, he has finished the race. I tell you this. No matter what happens to you in another man's country, even if they give you their passport, when push comes to shove, you know who the real citizens are. One of the danger of this dysfunction in this system of chaos is that it will get you to the point where you will hate your own, talk less of building it. When you hear it, you have disdain. Once you break the spirit of solidarity, what's it called? The sense of, when you break the spirit of patriotism, you have destroyed the nation. I will know that Nigeria is at the verge of repair once Nigerians can identify with the flag again. Because there's a way things will happen so bad that you will disconnect your emotions from the identity of the nation. I have nothing to do with you. Because all that the nation has done to you is to abuse and hurt you. So so the image of the nation has become the image of abuser. You just hate it. That nation is wealthy. That nation is rich. That nation is a neutral entity. It is not the nation that hurt you. It was people there. The system. I remember I came back from one trip recently, go to the airport, and there was something they said we had to do, and I was there struggling with network. And I said, I didn't know what I said. Must everything work like this in this country? Then I had to hold myself back. Because the journey was already smooth, everything. Let me just get home and rest. There we were, struggling with these loads of us, pressing, this thing is not connecting and all that. Then I said, this is my country. Must it be like this? So if you go outside and they treat you badly, and you know that where we are coming from is not any better, there's a way that destroys your mind. I wish I can draw the map for you and show you that out of every nation colonized in Africa, the most difficult one to arise is Nigeria. From the way Nigeria was carved out, they almost carved out the future. The fact that you brought people who will never really be ideologically nationalistic. Because sometimes people talk about the founding fathers, and I also laugh because it's that they did not pay attention to their words. The fact that the sentiment will make Yorubas keep quiet when Yoruba is in power because it is our time. And the Igbos are saying our own. and then we can whip anything to fight any other person. So from the beginning, it's a design. The issue is that you underestimate the intelligence of those who did it. You underestimate their intelligence. You underestimate the architecture. Dangerous stuff. Dangerous people. Eh, Hey, study it. People are divided across ethnic lines. And when ethnicity is not enough ball, they are divided across religious lines. Sentiment. So they calculated. Let's bring almost immixable substances together. Then let's try make them build a nation out. Everybody wants to build his own territory. So I was saying something about South Africa recently, the whole African continent, God angry of South Africa. I get it. I wasn't too happy to. I said 1 or 2 South Africans said they were disappointed at me. It's okay. But this is it. The game only works if we hate South Africa. That is, we'll see South Africa doing something to us. Punching our people, and yet 2 or 3 have died. And you can know somebody wants us to hate each other. And you say, who is trying to isolate them for something? You know the game is working when South Africa play with Mexico and African nations are wearing Mexico jersey. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's the system. Till tomorrow, South Africans are our brothers. And we need ourselves. So now you hear different African countries. They are Arabizing the Sudanese. They're saying, some part are saying, first thing first, the black man ate his skin. Black man ate his skin. And I tell you, you see, the Cabo Verde, that's the name, they are saying we don't identify as Africans. Are you aware? The Tunisians, the Moroccans, the Algerians, they're saying we're Arabs. Then, when the things going on in Sudan, the light Sudanese are saying we identify as Arabs. So, it's here, it's messed up. Something has been presented as better that makes your own look disgusting. Their small game will collapse if young Africans will go back to patriotism. Nations only break free from the shackles of bondage by those break free from that shackles, all right, when those who genuinely love the nation get involved. As we speak now, Nigeria is an injured nation. Not because the map is injured, the people. And you see, watch boxing. Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. As at that time, Muhammad Ali, who now is regarded as the greatest heavyweight of all time, in fact, greatest boxer of all time, had lost the fight. And he's had cases with the government that took him away from fighting for a while. George Foreman was this young champion, taller, bigger. I can't remember precisely, but Ali was about 34. Then Foreman was about 27 in his prime. He had knocked out everyone he fought with 100%. He was a beast. So Muhammad Ali, and I'm going to tell you something about that, was going to fight him in Kinshasa. He got there far ahead. And if you know Ali was this charismatic guy. He knew how to book out and all that. He will be granting interview and be describing George Foreman as a baboon, calling his mother names, getting him really angry. George Foreman had so many disgusting things. He was a knockout artist. He had planned, I will dismantle him when I come. And that was exactly what Ali was playing to. He was playing to his emotions. George Foreman came with anger, wanted to break, and Ali had a game plan. In fact, you can check this in the documentary. When they were going for that fight, Muhammad Ali's team had gotten an air ambulance ready for him to transfer him quickly, I think to France or somewhere to get treatment. Because it was Muhammad Ali that was telling the team when they were going to the stage that why are you all looking as if you are the one to fight? He said, you want to fight. You are all looking like, if I have your kind of mentality, I'll not be the world champion. He was one encouraging his coach, and they all everyone now, Jedo. That's it. When they got to the place, Foreman was angry. Kept punching and absorbing. If you watch the fight, you feel Ali is finished. But Ali just kept defending. And George Foreman said something in one of the interviews. He said, as he was punching hard on Ali kept whispering to his ears, is that all you've got? What an insult. Me, that have knocked out everybody. Is that all you've got? Punch, everything. The guy kept absorbing and dodging, and by the time they got to, I can't remember the 9th round or so, Foreman's punches had become slow. They were dragging. Now you can see them coming. You could dodge. Then Ali flipped him over and picked him apart and knocked him out. How did he beat him? He used his anger against him. That's how they are beating you. Because in your anger, you are too offended as Nigerians, you will never unite. You will not even recognize those that you're on the same side. And as long as you have that pain and that anger, you will never win. Because offense only destroys host. George Foreman said that was the beating that changed his life. That was the beating that humbled him in life. That was the beating that made him human being. The picture of George Foreman on the floor. He said he framed it. And he kept looking at that picture every time. That was the greatest moment of his life. George Foreman eventually left boxing for a while, then came back when he was older, picked everybody apart and became the world champion. He had learned control. He had learned to manage himself. He had learned to manage his emotions. He had learned to manage his anger. Anger is not a strategy. So this system, designed, keep you angry. Talk about it at micro level. Talk about it at macro level. You just keep ranting, and they see you coming. Everybody knows what you're capable of, what you can't do. They only hear the noise. Just keep building system around your anger. Again, all these things we're sharing is just for what? Entertainment purpose. It's nothing deep. What do I know? Just all right. So, but what I said, I want to pay attention to that, and that's the fact that most Nigerians, most of us from these are neighboring countries, we have gotten to the point where we are no longer proud of our flags. I know about Cameroonians also. Not really want to identify with anything that has to do with that again. Have you seen a case where a guy likes a girl and his friend likes the same girl, and he now tells the friend, "I like that girl." What do you think the friend will say? That girl, he's an idiot. Don't think, that one, ever. Later now, he will go. You now see both of them dating, you are now crying. And I know is the last cry of a fool. That quote is by Gege. And that's Gege's statement now. And I know is the last cry of a fool. If people can manipulate your decision without you prove, you're not smart. So you look at it. And once the system of chaos is built, there's lack, and there's lack in survival instinct. And with this survival instinct, there's zero value for people. You value people based on what they have to offer. This is where the root of classism is. What's he driving? What's he wearing? Somebody that they just brought out of poverty. He's asking if that thing is real gold or diamond. He's now money centric. He's in vengeance mode. Okay? So there's no value for people. There's no value for relationship. You find yourself in the WhatsApp group, you talk anyhow. You don't mind your track record because, again, you were not schooled in that. Okay? So the chaos is not bad. And now, I told every chaos is a design, and I said every chaos is an opportunity, and I'll tell you why. The moment you understand that it is a design, the darkness in a room is not a threat to light. It is the opportunity for the brightness of the light to show. The more the intensity of darkness, the more the opportunity it is for a light. So, for instance, how do you break this system? Build a system that provides what the chaos deprive people of. If in the system people are not valued, build a system that make them know what it means to be valued. Sometimes I hear people complain about going to certain hospitals in Nigeria. Somebody can be dying and the nurses and doctors are not attending to the person. So you want to build a system that makes them feel cared for. You see, let me tell you something. This is how wealth is built. Look for what is scarce, what is available to a few. Find how you can generalize it. That's the secret. Only few people, for instance, particularly in this part of the world, if you don't have resources at a certain level, there are places you go to, they don't consider you as human. When you have money, they feel you are human. Maybe when you build a kind of car. When you look at that and say, hold on, honor is a scarce commodity that the poor don't get. Build a system where they are treated as kings. They will come. Every complaint you have is a business opportunity. Every complaint. Oh, you don't have anything. What I do, I'm a school teacher. I teach in a school. There is a way the school treat parents because they know the kind of parent that brought children there. Be an exceptional teacher that make them feel important. You destroy that because that in itself is a kind of currency. Goodwill. Goodwill is a currency. So you see, the system of chaos is an opportunity for you to build a rival system that gives people another sense of experience around it. And then, yeah. So anywhere you see chaos, be interested in building a rival. So you see, I've said some things today, like Nigeria is in pain. One of the things you can know about this country is that pain is served around. There's buffet here. There's dysfunctionality. There's offense. There's anger. Those are problems. So you want to take that home. What do I have that solves this problem? Because life rewards you at the level of the problem you solve. What I'm doing here today is me solving the problem. If the problem doesn't exist, I have no business being here. Okay? Solving the problem. So I wanted to show you something. Okay, let me put it this way. Look at me. Do you know that even God who made you, there are things he will not consider you for because you have no capacity for. And the kind of capacity there to do this one is not the one that comes by impartation. See, there was a reason why. Because you can say what you want to say. As powerful as God is, to get somebody that will get the Israelite out, he had to use somebody who knows what freedom is. If his only option was somebody who has known only pain and bondage all his life, his experience with the person will be his experience in the wilderness. Imagine that it was Aaron that brought them out. He would have given them the golden calf and that's it. One of the ways you can improve the quality of your future is to quickly start working on your exposure. It doesn't work by, oh, Lord, you know, you can do all things. Yes. I've shown you there are things that God struggled with, even in the Bible. People whose minds have been condemned to a stuff. He had to say they would die. This is the good news. The good news is that when you are no longer relevant for the original package, there is a package of a semblance of something that will make you feel important. You can be the chairman of a Sako Women Association in your place. When you gather, they will play drums. You can be the chairman of Orile Gomo Association and all that, Landlord Association here and all that. It's a semblance of something. It's at least take something. True? Take something. True? Take a trophy. You're welcome. There's a way you will drag your mind to that, even you don't mind again. You know it's gone. It's gone. This thing is just for entertainment purpose. You know. So when I read the book of Genesis, again, because Genesis is an opportunity to see God's design, to see God's building model, his pattern, to see his intentions. Most of the part till Jesus came was we are seeing a chaotic world and is a product of the fall of the man. But before the fall, we look at the things he designed. I saw that God is a master of automation. Master of automation. So this is the issue with automation, is that um, I want to show you something. This is you going in this direction. Everything here is the possibility of choosing this path. These are your experiences. As long as you're on this path, this is constant. If God is going to help you, he will change your direction or change your direction. Because every path you go, there's what is automated. God does not come and start putting and start putting and start putting and start putting. No. It is your experience will be determined by the path you've taken. I just hope that some of your religious minds will let you see what I'm saying. Are you not? I'm not saying it doesn't answer prayer, but there are things that the best way to help you is to redirect your thinking, refocus your mind, reposition you so that you will not have to be waiting on God to come and do everything. And it doesn't work. There is a path that when you take, for the rest of your life, some things are automated. They are the consequence of taking that path. That's why I said that until wealth is seen as a ripple effect, you need wealth as a miracle. And the issue of wealth as a miracle is that it's not generalized. It depends on who is picked. And somebody waited for who is picked for 38 years. Once you subscribe for wealth as a miracle, 38 years in waiting is still Jimmy. That's the Bethesda experience. So that thing you are praying for, send helper. If you actually have a certain level of certain things and all that, you are that helper that, uh, you understand what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, um, I really hope that, okay, there's a way we do that in Kenya. How do I go today? Is this still on loop? Ah, thank you. So, you like problem. You like systems that put every responsibility on God so that nobody will blame you. Let me say it again. You like systems that put every responsibility of God on God so that nobody will blame you. So that in case you fail, it is God who didn't answer me. We prayed though. We did everything. See, should we say you should not pray? It's difficult to answer a religious person because you should pray. And you actually pray. But the issue is that you are praying and your prayer is trying to make God to do what he doesn't do. He only came down to the earth to mold one man once. He won't come down and do it again. The rest is automation. It was only once he said plant the fruit farm, the rest is what? Automation. He said, I've said before you life and death, blessing and cursing. If you choose any path, that's your experience. The rest is automation. I just wish sometimes people will understand these things. And do you not think that God did not build a world that is subjective? Let me explain what that means. In the sense that it doesn't still matter what we do. It's whatever it decides. It's not true. He's a God of principles. If it is not dogma, if that's why the Bible is fixed. You can't add to what is written. You can only get revelations from inside. Explanation. It's fixed. It's true. It's not the God that you do your part and say, I'm not in the mood. 2 plus 2 here is 2 plus 2 anywhere. I know there's a number-based principle. We can talk about this one base, this and base, all that. So what I'm saying is that quit living that life and telling yourself that I've done everything. It's God who has chosen not to honor it. You know, there's really still happen. God is still busy Meduguri answering somebody now. Once it's not, okay, it doesn't work. That's not the way automation works. Of everything that God said, be fruitful and blessed, the only one who's struggling with it is man. Is the one whose mind has been abused. And once it is abused, you will struggle. So all these things I've said is just for entertainment purposes. Don't hang your mind around what will destroy it. Um, understand that exposure is your lifeline out of a life of misery. You want to break out of the rat race. What you need to get out is something, either what you have heard, you have not implemented, what you have not heard, but it exists. Your miracle is not coming from heaven, it's here. Everything heaven will release, heaven has released. It's just recycling that is going on here. You understand what I'm saying? Jesus is not coming down for you again. He's now seated at the right hand side of the Father. Sit at the right hand side till I make your enemy. So it's a long sitting. It's a very long sitting. So if you don't understand this, you'll be a victim of religious nuances. And your life will just be played like a ball. Again, this is public school. It's not doctrine. It's not church service. I'm just having fun with my guys here. True or not true? We're just entertaining ourselves and joking. One of these days soon we'll start distributing Zobo. That's what our kind drink. Till we get to the point where we can drink 5 Alive. I don't remember the first time you took 5 Alive or took juice or something like that. It took a while. They call it juice. So, but I'm saying that one of these days I'm going to begin to have public school meeting in different states. Maybe I can, because I really want to put a face to all this. And then, yeah, I can have open class, maybe in Lagos, and then all that. You can send us a mail. Let's see, we can even work with some of you. That's what we can do together across different places. Let's know if there are 1 or 2 transformations you've gotten from here. Um, and by the way, you feel this is a lot for you, you can also join my mentorship. Yeah. I wish I can pause and talk about the money culture of the poor. But let me just tell you this before I go. The Bible says that a lazy man gets his meat, his game, but does not know how to roast it. So the issue is that sometimes it's not even you that should roast it. Before those who can roast it for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why most of your arguments about who can cook, can the woman cook or not cook, is because the entire vision is no more than the woman who will have to be in the kitchen. So let me help you with this. Sometimes people have business and my heart is heavy. They start something, but they don't have the knowledge how to build it. In fact, they are not even clear about. You don't have a brand where you are not clear. That's why you need help. And if your money culture is bad, you are not designed to spend money in the direction of clarity. Because life for you has automated anything that gives you a sense of importance and meaning. Just do something, even if it is rubbish. It doesn't work. Do the right things. Okay? So you have an organization, you want to reach out for help, you can reach out to Fem Lazarus Consulting. Let's help you. For now, I still sit with clients one-on-one. That's a big deal. Imagine me sitting with you for 1 hour. It's too much. A lot will change. And I say that respectfully, but unapologetically, because I understand the weight of it. So I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you for being entertained with me on Public School today. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.
To continue enjoying this class and to gain access to the